When I was looking for different fellowship programs, I really wanted a place that was well-rounded, so I specifically wanted a place that had multiple sites.
I really just wanted to be at a place where I knew I could get a really strong clinical experience, be exposed to a variety of patients, populations, and patient pathologies.
What I was looking for was like a good place and a good location with a lot of good training.
And I think at UCSD, because we cater to 3 different hospitals, we have a broad range of patient populations, different cases that we see.
So we have the Veterans Hospital, we have the County Hospital at Hillcrest, and then Jacobs Hospital that offers all these advanced therapies. And I think between all 3, I've had the opportunity to practice the full breadth of nephrology, and it makes me feel really confident about being ready to practice next year on my own.
So much of your training comes from the patient population that you see. So having the ability to see patients at multiple hospitals and multiple populations of patients is something that's really beneficial.
We get transfers from other counties, which I think is exciting. So we get to see from bread and butter to all high-end fancy treatments. And I think at UCSD really it passed my expectations.
As a first-year fellow, just a few months into fellowship, I feel like I've already had so much exposure to so many different things. I just got off a month where we were taking care of transplant patients, pre and post-transplant patients, and the exposure we get to that and the training we get with that is really incredible.
So one of the really more unique parts about UCSD is the experience with apheresis and plasmapheresis.
It's something that a lot of other programs didn't have, and it's an experience that we can use in the future in our professions.
The apheresis program here is actually headed by the nephrology program, which is not usually the case in other institutions, and so it gives us a lot of broad exposure to patient populations that we may not get elsewhere.
You know, this is my 3rd or 4th month of fellowship, and I've seen plasmapheresis patients both on the inpatient and outpatient side, already getting comfortable writing prescriptions for these patients, troubleshooting any problems, and seeing really the wide variety of applications for this therapy.
The other thing that I really wanted in a fellowship was I wanted somewhere that had a feeling of camaraderie and warmth, and that's one of the things that really struck me about UCSD when I interviewed here.
Something that especially drew me to this program was just how friendly everyone was with each other. Like, we ran into other attendings while on tour, and everyone was just really nice to each other.
I was really looking for a place where I felt like I could fit in with the faculty and the fellows, and I really felt that on interview day.
It really came down to what I felt was leadership on the day of my interview, and since being here, that's, I think, what I've really been impressed by.
You know, one of the most unique and I think important of it is the environment and the people that I work with in UCSD that I find that are very supportive, friendly, easy to approach, starting from the program director to the attendings to the fellows.
I think one of the most unique aspects is our conferences. I think we have a lot of fun, and I just learn so much from them. And I think we have great faculty that make it such a rich experience.
Just in general, the teaching that we get bedside and formally during lectures, there's a lot of autonomy that you get, even as a first-year fellow. So I think I learned a lot just with that.
I really enjoy our transplant program here. It's very interdisciplinary. We work very closely with our transplant renal pharmacists. We have a handful of great surgeons here that are just a pleasure to work with, and we round alongside them in the morning, and it's a really great environment to learn from and care for these patients. And
everyone that I've worked with has been so supportive, focused on supporting the fellows, making sure that we're learning what we need to learn in the midst of busy inpatient services. And I think that support and camaraderie with the faculty has been really instrumental in my training so far.
It really spoke volumes the way our division reorganized itself in light of COVID this year. And I was fortunate enough to be here to watch that happen. And it was very elegant, and if I had to capture it in one word, I would say just very emphatic. So I feel really lucky to have been here part of this program when that happened.
San Diego, of course, reputation speaks for itself, and it has a lot of activities to do in San Diego.
It's a really great place to be, to live, to work, and to play. The beaches are nearby. We have Balboa Park, which I love, and the zoo, and there's just so much to do here.
The food is good. You can find any type of food that you want here. And just reiterating the people. Everyone that I've met in San Diego has been super nice, welcoming, and fun.
There's a lot of hiking for those who are interested, cycling, running. When you're doing a fellowship, sometimes, you want to get out there and do some other activities, and that'll help your physical and mental health as well.
So after a really busy time in service, taking care of people who are very sick in the hospital, it's one of the most rewarding things to just close the day at the beach and make some time for reflection.